Well, thank you for staying with us. Time now for the news review. We'll be getting to the major news portals and then sharing there the stories with you. MyJoyOnline.com, Graphic.com, among others. Just stay with us. Of course, we are very lean on papers today because guess what? The papers are resting. They are taking a hiatus. But we day, rain or shine, we day here. We day for you. The conversation. He is actually on. Mr. Pogo, a very good morning to you, sir.
Good morning and belated Happy Independence.
Oh, I thought you were going to add belated happy birthday. I celebrate my birthday on the 3rd. Ghana celebrates on the 6th.
When was your birthday?
On the 3rd.
Oh, wow. You share the same birthday with my mom.
Oh, you see, even more reason for you to celebrate both of us.
Happy belated birthday.
Even as we get into the stories on My Joy Online and other online portals, the BBC as well later on, I just like to share this story with you and get your take because I want to go to the police and I want to petition the IGP if possible. Someone may say, well, maybe a bit of a small issue, but here's what happened to be. I closed from the probe yesterday. I'm heading in a certain direction and I'm using the N1, Kojo. Now, you know, after what used to be Men's Gold's office, that oil entity, I just forget the name sometimes. To your right, so you know that place, right before the traffic light, and to your left, you have Fiesta Royale. Before we get there, at 9:31 p.m., this police van, you know those old, is it Land Cruiser or whatever, the truck types?
Yes.
So they are coming from the 3rd lane to my left. We are in the middle lane, and there's one lane to my right. This car just whizzes by. I mean, it's entering my lane and the speed at which he was coming. I had to quickly veer to my right. And imagine, Kojo, if passed us like that, and then a little ahead, I go there, they are to my right at this point, and I just roll down and I ask, hey, dude, what's up? Why did you do that? A simple apology, Kojo, would have done it for me. No, get out. Who are you? People, you feel because you put a sign and hey, thankfully, Kojo, I had a witness in my car. Another gentleman that I was actually going to drop off somewhere. So we saw all of what they did. And then again, this time they had come to my left. They were turning at Fiesta Royale. I said to them, so what you did you feel it was right? Oh, Mufaso, and all kinds of things that they were saying. Then I told them they started toning down. I want to follow up on this issue because sometimes we are celebrating 65 years of independence. Our police can be so reckless on the road, it is amazing. These are the same people telling you, MTTD and the rest, drive safe, do this, do that. Sometimes they are the worst perpetrators. And like I'm saying, what they did could have resulted in an accident. What do you think?
Much so.
I really want to take this on.
It's a good observation.
Right.
And I think that you should follow through. If you took the car number, by all means, report it.
We did. I just don't want to mention it on TV, but we did.
Yes, because the thing is, I mean, you even get times when they have the siren on, move to the side and realize that the guy is going nowhere. Okay? And the recklessness, so I've always gone back to the heart of the matter. I think the level of education is very important. Okay? The professionalism of the police, you can equate that to the level of education. I'm not saying that they are illiterate, but I'm saying that the level of education will allow, like you said, all you needed was an apology. If that person had the basic training and before he entered the police had a certain level of education, okay, that person would have what it takes to now say, I'm sorry. But when they put a uniform on, they think they're bigger than everybody. Okay? And I don't know the number of people in that car, but at times
there were at least we saw 2. We suspect there could have been 3, but at least there were 2 of them in the pickup truck.
So normally one person will be like, "Oh, boss, you know, it's okay," because and feels that because he has the uniform on, he can never be wrong. That's what I want you to point out to them, that rule of law. Okay, rule of law is simply that everybody is beneath the law. The law is supreme. So it doesn't matter if you're police, you are military, you are IGP, you are anybody. Rule of law means that we are all underneath the law. And it's very important you follow through.
Why? So I'm going to do exactly that and identify him in a parade. And the sort of arrogance and I must add sheer stupidity he showed, makes me want to actually go the full haul on this matter so that they realize you can't just do this to citizens. I was in a branded car. How about someone else who is not in any? I mean, sometimes they feel they're above the law, like you're saying, and it's something that we really ought to watch. But let's take a look at yesterday on the probe last night as I contemplated Ghana. 65 years with precious little to show. Kojo, look, I have an archived document, visual document, 1 year of our first anniversary and the sort of things we were celebrating after 1 year of independence. And now I look on 64 years in addition to that 1 year, making 65. And I am sad, honestly, when I contemplate Mother Ghana. What are your quick reflections on 65 years of our independence and what you see, even as we celebrated in Cape Coast yesterday?
Point, we just retrogressed. Because when I was born as a little kid in Fantinu town in Kumasi, the things that I saw that existed in Ghana, and as I grow up, every day you realize that we are going backwards. Let me give you a typical example. There was a time when some guys came to my office and said, look, they've gotten some investors and they think that Silverbird is making so much money, showing new films, and they want us to try and come together and put similar Silverbirds across the country, and especially Kumasi and all the guys were very excited. So I look at them and laugh and said, look, you see, there's something you don't know. Cinemas in Ghana is not new. In the past, the Indians, Nankeni and Hagan, okay, and these chaps were Indians who settled in Ghana. They had over 12 cinemas, latest Indian movie and the latest Chinese movies in the big screen. These screens were bigger than current day cinemas, okay? And these were very up-to-date cinemas at that time. What happened? Eventually, they phased out. I don't know what it was, but then for me, I think it was more to do with the curfew. When Rawlings came, the curfew was what spoiled it, because the cinemas were mostly popular in the evening, and when people have to sleep at 6 o'clock, the curfew basically spoiled the cinemas. But a lot of things, we used to make biscuits. There were these biscuits made in Kumasi. There was Pioneer biscuits. A lot of the industries, plates. I remember very well, there was a that had in the Achimota area glass factory. A lot of the industries, we are trying to build it back. So we've retrogressed. If you look at the meaning of our independence, 65 years, you cannot even say that we've gotten to the point of economic independence. And yesterday, I said this and somebody was laughing. I'm like, look, we've not really had the chance as a nation to grow as Ghanaians. We've always had one imposition or the other. So, look, in the account balance, yes, like, oh, the Mwedido Omundinko, it's sad that 65 years is wasted. But I honestly believe that if we have the admission to say that, look, we have failed in 65 years, the successes column is not a lot, okay? The non-success column is more than the success column. Let's regroup. Let's look at another 65 years from now and let the future judge that we took reconnaissance of years on.
Right. Well, interesting dynamics. Now, yesterday again on the probe, as we spoke about Ghana, the national picture and energy, Dr. Suleiman, shared his thoughts, energy expert, shared his thoughts on some matters. And I asked him, should we privatize TOR, looking at all the problems we've had, right from the 60s to 1991 when we got so, shareholder stakes or proprietorship and turned it into the Tema oil refinery. Should we privatize it? He said yes.
But TOR was
that is the way to go.
Entity. TOR was never a public entity. TOR was built by Agip. The Italians built TOR.
Exactly. It was a collaboration.
Okay? Right. Made a mess of it. Now, in the last, God knows, 2 years or so, TOR has been turned into like a political football. In the last year, we've got the INC that went in there and did nothing. And I repeat, they did nothing. They went in there for 9 months and they tell us that, oh, they stopped theft, they stopped this. No, they did not. They went there and did nothing. They should come and tell us and make public the report which they gave to the board and tell us what they've done. the core function of thermal oil refinery is to refine. So if you are put in there and for 9 months you couldn't bring a single crude oil parcel into Tor, you have failed. And the earlier we stop this thing of the IMC did well, the IMC stopped theft and all those things, the better. Let's admit things that we've done wrong. Tor should be privatized. Tor, forget privatization. Tor should be sold. At this point,
Tor should be sold.
Government of Ghana.
No. Could you hold it right there? Stall a bit for me. Tor should be sold. This is our national asset that we want to get on board so that we'll not face some of the, exchange.
Doesn't address any of those problems.
How
you
so?
See, your currency problem, Tor doesn't address it. Your fuel problem, Tor doesn't address it. Tor does it. Look, if Tor is to function, Tor will buy crude at the current international market price. Tor is going to get crude at any cheaper price. The days when we were doing G2G with Nigeria, where Nigeria was giving us crude at a little discount and maybe 60 days credit, it's over. Nigeria today will not even give us G2G, and if they give us G2G, it wouldn't be at a discount. And surely it won't be at 60 days. Okay? So my point is that Tor today, the function of Tor, the capacity of Tor, belongs to 30 years ago. Tor is about what? 30,000, 60,000 a barrel. Sorry, 30,000. Tor is 30,000. Okay? We had the burner. There was a blowout at Tor 2017. Okay? 4 years on, we've not been able to fix the burner. Now, tell me, if you have a refinery that had a burner, so now maybe do 24,000 barrels per day stream.
Right.
Does it take 4 years to fix the burner? 4 good years.
That is a no-brainer. I agree with you. And not just 4 years. In past times, the things we could have done with Tor that we've not done. No-brainers.
The majority shareholder of Tor, which is government, does not have the money to fix Tor. So why?
And that can mitigate the situation, right? Rather than just sell off.
Okay, so let me give you an example. You're going to take an equity position, okay? So let's say that Tor needs about, call it $500 million, okay? So how much do you think the government has to spend in there? 100 million? So that government takes like 1/5 of the shares? Government doesn't have 100 million. We are hearing the stories going around in the news whereby people are even saying that we can't pay salaries. So what money does the government have? Look, we have this passionate on nationality that, it's a national asset. So what? What is national asset that doesn't give anything to the government? And we are paying salaries. We keep saying that Tor should be put on its feet to create employment. Tor is not an employment factory. Tor is supposed to function as a business, not to create employment. When we look at Tor, that, we need to get Tor working to create employment, as if the main aim of Tor is to keep employing people. No, Tor has to get to an equilibrium where it makes profit. We wish them well. There's a new managing director that I'm told has come in. We wish him well. We hope government has the boldness to sell it.
Okay.
As it is now, it has no benefit for me and you. There are some proposals on the table, and let me give you some of the proposals. Some people are proposing to take Tor on a concession. Okay, take it on concession, invest the needed money to build the gas pipeline to basically power the plant with gas, fix the desulfurizer so that our petroleum products can, and modernize their gantries with the valves and everything to be automated. These are investment that Tor needs immediately. So if somebody wants to take it on, invest that money, take it for like maybe 15 years, and then take their money out and return what is left to Tor, or government at that point will sell it on permanently.
Right.
Why not? But Tor does not belong in the government fold.
Now, very quickly, let's talk about gas as well, LPG, very quickly on this one, because we already know the dynamics. But I want your take, because recently we had a 5% increase. In the period of a year, we have increased LPG prices by 70%. You could be buying to fill your cylinder over 200 cedis. And yesterday, I actually went out there, comparative, 6 months ago and yesterday, current prices. I'll just walk you through a few of them because I have 3 kg all the way to 54 kg. But for 3 kg, standard filling is 55 cedis. That is about 12 liters. And then if you want to fill to the brim, that's 70 cedis. If you go back 6 months, what you're getting for 55 cedis was 35 cedis. 20 cedis added. And, at 40 cedis for what you are now getting for 70 cedis. That was 6 months ago. When you look at 15 kg, for example, 5 cedis, and if you wanted a top up, even that wouldn't be to the brim, but it would be max 190 cedis. Today, if you want that is what you're getting today. Back then, it was 90 cedis and 125 cedis. Let's go to 54 kg for those who use it commercially, maybe for baking. Now you have to pay between 580 to 600 cedis for normal and 630 cedis for max. When back some 6 months ago, you were paying between 450 and 500 cedis for max. So looking at these differences, what can we do specifically when it comes to gas? Your take, how do we resolve this?
Now, you keep saying the word, could you be surprised? My brother, nothing surprises me anymore in this country. So that word of could you be surprised, I'm not surprised.
You're not surprised.
Let me tell you the fundamental problem with the gas. LPG, okay? About 55% or a little bit before about that. I don't have the exact figure, but we get a very good amount of gas from the Ghana gas in that trouble. Okay. Now, because Tor is not refining, we don't get any from Tor. So Tor tanks, people import into Tor and sell. Now, LPG is a byproduct of the natural gas we get from the field. Now, the gas that Ghana Gas gets from the Jubilee field is free. LPG from the methane, so that they send the methane to the gas, the electricity generators, the IPPs, okay? So that they use the methane to generate electricity. The LPG, which is, I think, propane and butane, now it's byproduct. So that one is what we bottle as LPG. That is a byproduct. Now, you would think that the gas that Ghana Gas, the LPG that Ghana Gas is selling us will be much cheaper than the imported gas, isn't it?
Right.
Because one, the gas from the field is free. Two, is a byproduct. Ghana Gas is selling these gas at the same price as imported gas.
And that is a problem, isn't it? Because I hear we even sometimes send, some of our products to Burkina Faso, and they sell cheaper than we are selling in Ghana. So it makes sense what you're saying.
Brother Honorable Anodon stood on the floor of Parliament and said that the untold story of Ghana Gas is doing AstroTurf, Ghana Gas is doing this, Ghana Gas is ripping off Ghanaians to do these things. Ghana Gas is ripping me and you off. And when you ask people, why is Ghana Gas doing that? They say, oh, there's a loan they have to pay back. The gas they send to the IPPs, they don't get paid. So it's the LPG money that you use. Why? So, like I said, the gas, the LPG gas that the Mobrowa needs in this country, Ghana Gas, if they really want to do the savings and the things they claim they are doing, they should stop the AstroTurfs and they should stop all the things that Mr. Benasanti is doing across the country and trying to LPG is imported into the country. You are sitting here, your raw material is free from Jubilee. You are only stripping it as byproduct and selling it to Ghanaians, the Mobrowa, for the same price of imported. And you want to say that there's an untold story of Ghana Gas? Please, I'm sorry.
All right.
There's no untold story.
Right. Let me just take you back a bit, straying a little from the Ghana Gas project. But the Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Mottley, has been saying that there are no first and second class citizens or countries, more or less. And we also heard the rhetoric of Mr. President at yesterday's Independence Day anniversary about patriotism, about coup talk, about democracy and what we stand for. Again,
as a patriotic citizen, I'll say that we are first class. I don't want.
Is that hoping or being realistic?
No, realistic. Are you comparing us to others, or we are comparing ourselves to who? I mean, at the end of the day, if you want to compare me, we are first class citizens. I don't think if you want to compare us to other countries, then maybe we look at the pros and cons. But Ghanaians, I think we're first class citizens. The patriotism is here where people are making this stupid argument of coup d'etats, all those things. For me, I think we should put it where it belongs and not even encourage that conversation on any show or platform. For me, some of the things that Mr. President is saying now, for me, I think should have been said in 2017. And some of us stood on various platforms and said that that was what Ghana needed. The talk of more revenue, the talk of having to chip in for more, the talk of Ghana needs to come together and basically look within and build our own country. That is a 2017 conversation, not 2022 conversation. Okay,
right.
so I don't know at what point he came to the same page as us, because some of us have been saying this far back as 2014, 2015. And those were the things that we're telling His Excellency is also saying the same thing. Like I said, for me, I believe in better late than never. So now that we've come to the realization and acknowledgement that the likes of Kojo Poku were saying the truth, and all the things we are saying now, everybody now wants to get on board. That's fine. Let's all get on board and let's make Ghana what it should be.
Okay.
So I think we are first-class citizens.
Right. Kojo, you want to be president someday. You're contemplating standing, rubbing shoulders with those on the ticket of the NPP and maybe emanating or definitely emanating the flag bearer. I want to run this by you as I go to the BBC. I'm sure you followed the Ukraine-Russia standoff and what it means as well for our energy issues. Now, how would you react to the, what do you call it? The Russians are bombarding hospitals, they are bombarding schools, they're bombarding infrastructure. They are basically doing what they did in Chechnya, in the late 90s, early 2000s. And it's just been chaotic. When you go on the BBC, most of the stories there on BBC World talking about Ukraine and what the country is facing. Interestingly, but on our Independence Day, Russia sent us congratulatory messages. How would you react if you were president?
Well, bear in mind, it's a war, and everybody in their same mind condemn war. Because war, there are no gainers and losers. Everybody loses. In war, the people of Ukraine is going through a lot. Imagine me and you today having to pack one bag or a suitcase or even a backpack and leave Ghana into neighboring countries and don't know if we'll come back and our house will be there. So war is a bad thing. We all condemn it. The president has condemned it, which is a good thing. We are in the National Security and the UN Security Council, and we voted against it, which is a good thing. But it doesn't right. Whether wrong or right, that is not for us to now say that, oh, I'm not talking to you again. I'm not going to do this. We can't afford to be at loggerheads. Countries are putting sanctions on Russia. Ghana, for where we are, we can't afford to put sanctions on anybody. It would even be mimical for us to try and say we are putting sanctions on anybody. So for me, condemning it, showing by our action, the United States, the United Nations Security Council voting against it, we've actually shown our hand. We've condemned it publicly as the president has done. We move on. I mean, I think it will resolve itself. Some of these things do. There's been wars in the world over thousands of years. Today is social media and 24-hour news media that amplify some of these things.
Right.
The world affairs are with them. Our brothers and sisters who are studying there, I hope they all get back safely. And I think the government is doing a lot more to bring them back. But for me, that's where it ends. Let's not try and get into that middle of that thing to now say, oh, Russia, we won't take your message. No. Russia is a country that has huge significance. Okay. Today in the geopolitical politics,
right,
you don't go to the west or go to the east. You become non-aligned and stay in the middle.
Movement. Right. Thank you. The way I deal with issues may seem too loud, but that's how I heal. Abnakoko saying that. Kojo, do you know Abnakoko?
I've seen her in the media and the post that she posted.
Okay. All right. There's also Ghana at 65. Akufo-Addo assures of preserving Ghana's democracy, condemns recent coup talks. LPG is now more or less a luxury product. Vice President of the LPG Marketers Association. Yes or no? Do you agree?
Well, it shouldn't be. That's why I'm saying that if Ben Asante and his Ghana Gas want to help the Mobra, they should stop up and stop ripping us off.
All right. And finally, Ghana at 65. Gymnastics display with fire gone wrong. Did you watch that gymnastic display?
Please, no, I was not able to watch it. Why? What happened?
They were trying to jump through hoops and you just go online and follow the thread. Yeah.
Well, we should applaud some of these things. Look, I think Ghana, instead of only doing some of these things for the Independence Day, we should groom some of these things to go to the Olympics. We have a lot of talent in Ghana. We should groom them to go for the Olympics.
Thank you so much, Kojo, for joining the conversation. But up next, we have sports. And yesterday, for real, my team, Manchester United, the Red Devils, they looked like something else apart from Devils. They were thumped by 4-1. And it didn't look good. I mean, Manchester City with cheeky ease dealt with us. Riyad Mahrez, they basically put us on their laps. And my team is Manchester United. They put us on their laps and gave us, lashes. That's how it turned out yesterday. Well, there'll be more of that action coming your way in sports. And of course, there's also the President's Cup where Kotoko lost to Accra Hearts of Oak. All of that in sports up next.